You've heard it said, health is wealth, so enrich your life with the Healthy Home Hour, brought to you by the Healthy Home Market. Every Sunday, 9 to 10 a.m. Know what's new and classic for health and wellness. Meet the local and national experts. Live God's plan to thrive, not just survive. I'm your host, Holly Adams, and welcome to the Healthy Home Hour. Morning all, glad you're here this Healthy Home Hour. We've got two smart guys in the house today to talk about the keys to your health for ongoing focus on foundational wellness this new year. Well, you know, we've been focusing on this for, since the beginning of the year, actually. And it's still kind of the beginning of the year, even though it's Valentine's weekend. And BTW, or by the way, hope your sweet boo is good to you this Valentine's. You know, foundational health is the future of healthcare. It'll serve you well for a lifetime to beat the odds that are stacked ever higher year after year. We know some reasons why, and our guests are going to shed some big light on what's at the root of many illnesses. Jason Fowler, nutritional microscopist. That's hard to say, and I know you're wondering, what the heck is that? And certified personal trainer and former guest on the Healthy Home Hour, as well as Mark Gilewicz, water specialist and health minister. So we're going to tear into and talk about healing waters and cleaning your blood. And that's why they've partnered up. They're here today talking about water and blood. But first, some good news about what's up at the Healthy Home Market. Monday, tomorrow, come to hear Eating to Reduce Inflammation, which I bet we'll be talking about a little bit this hour. It's 7 to 8 tomorrow night. It's free. The price is right, but don't let that fool you into thinking it doesn't have value, because inflammation is really rough on your body and mind, and it's going on whether you know it or not. That's tomorrow, Eating to Reduce Inflammation at the Community Wellness Center at 1318 A0 Central Avenue behind the market. And then there's a new Tai Chi class, Tai Chi for Health, this Wednesday, the 18th at 6:30 to 7:30, just $8. Build your body and relax your mind with Tai Chi. Friday, the 20th, there's a free class called Learn the Link Between Heart Attacks, Stroke, and Alzheimer's at 7 to 8. And then Saturday, the 21st, two events happening. Ray Fritch, the blood guy, is back to provide medical screenings and blood work at reduced rates. And Mike White, expert breathing consultant, is giving a class at 12:30 to 2 called Wake Up Rested. So I will be there to learn more about what I can do for my sleep. That class is free and he's fun. So come on out Saturday the 21st, next Saturday or this Saturday. So get online to Healthy Home Market. That's healthyhomemkt.com to see details about these classes and others, discounts, and our Healthy Home Market blog and more. So Jason Fowler and Mark Gilewicz, thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you for having us.
It's our pleasure.
Thank you. Absolutely. You know, this is such an amazing topic, water and blood, because in our lives, in Western cultural lives, we've known about the connection of water and blood, the healing waters and the blood of forgiveness. But it seems that what you both are doing is taking the water and blood to heart, so to speak, to the body.
Right. So Jason is the blood guy. I'm the water guy. And we have worked together quite often. I used to have a water store, the pH Plus water store here in Charlotte. Closed that down a couple of years ago. And that's how I met Jason. And then when he first told me about what a blood microscopist does, and that's a hard word to pronounce, and he can tell you more about it, but it just revolutionized everything to be able to see your blood. So a lot of people talk about, well, I got my blood tested. Well, those are just some statistics on a page. Here you actually get to see what's going on in your body, and that excited me. And I'll let Jason talk a little bit about that, but we do have a website where you can actually see what's going on in your blood, or actually my blood, because I'm the guinea pig. And on the website, it's betterbodyandlife.com. Real simple, betterbodyandlife.com. And there's a video where Jason analyzes my blood when I've been dehydrated. Then he analyzes it again after I drink bottled water, which is reverse osmosis water, which a lot of people drink. And then it shows the blood analysis. Then I drink alkaline ionized water, and then it shows the improvement there. So, Jason, talk a little bit about what you do and why would there be a difference in the blood on those different things.
Before we go there, I just want to ask you one
Yeah.
little quick question. Or well, maybe Jason, you can answer this too. I mean, how did you guys first meet? How did you focus on? It was from looking at the photos or the actual right down through the microscope that you got to see that alkaline water works and see the results of it?
Yeah, so what a lot of people like to do is we can actually look at your blood before, like after you fasted, and then you can try a supplement or exercise or food or whatever, and we can look at your blood again afterwards and see if there's an improvement or it stays the same or if it makes things worse. And that's obviously going to tell us at the cellular level what exactly we're doing to ourselves with any given stimulus or whatever we're constantly exposed to.
You mentioned before we came on air this morning that there's actually a verse in the Bible that talks about the life in the blood. And tell us what that is. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so there's a scripture in Leviticus in the Old Testament that says the life of the, what is it?
The life of the flesh.
The life of the flesh is in the blood. So that tells us even at a very early age in human existence that we understood at some level that everything was connected to the blood. So if we look at how healthy our blood cells are, which all of our organs and tissues are bathed in these fluids, if those fluids are healthy and clean, then all of our organs are going to be as well. And if they're toxic, then we're going to be toxic on the whole, not just, our blood.
So let's start with water. Mark, you're a water specialist and a health minister. How did you get to be all of this?
Somebody told me about the benefits of alkaline water, and I told him, that's ridiculous. Water is water. And he kept on me for 6 months and said, no, just try this. You'll see a difference. And then I had a family member who had asthma. And after a few weeks of drinking this water, their asthma went away. And I'm like, whoa, this is huge. No more asthma medication. Changed, our lives. And I said, okay, there's something to it. And then I started researching it. And then we started telling our friends, and they were coming by with gallon jugs to get alkaline water from our water machine. And then they started talking about how they used to be irregular. And I'm like, whoa, that's way too much information. Don't want to hear about your digestive issues and your elimination problems. But everybody would come back within a few days with these glowing remarks on how their health had changed. And I'm like, this is crazy, just with changing your water. And then I started realizing there's a huge difference between different types of water. And on our website, you can actually see what the different types of water are doing in my body within a few minutes of drinking it. So we know that dehydration is bad. So we know that that's not good for the body and the blood. You can't think clearly. Your organs and different things aren't going to function properly. You're not bringing oxygen properly to the cell. Reverse osmosis, bottled water, everything's going to be great. And it still didn't improve that much. And then you drink alkaline ionized water, and then there's a huge improvement. And you really have to see it to believe it, and that's at betterbodyandlife.com. And so just from somebody initially telling me about the water to using it, I became a believer, and then so many people's lives had changed for the better. I'm like, you know what, I'm going to make a business of it. And we had a store, and we had hundreds and hundreds of testimonials.
It's so interesting. I mean, what do you think is going on with just general water? Is it worse than it was when we were growing up? I mean, the Clean Air and Water Act goes back 40 years plus. Are we better for the Clean Water Act or not?
No. When you look at statistics, it's pretty dismal. I'm going to read some statistics from my website. And it says, why should you drink alkaline water? So let's go to bottled water. And unfortunately, too many people drink bottled water. And this is staggering what I'm about to say, and it doesn't even make sense. But a recent university study tested 18 different bottled waters for contaminants, and what they found sent shockwaves through the beverage industry. They found traces of 24,520 different chemicals. That's right, 24,000 different chemicals. Some were extremely toxic. Americans dumped 23 billion plastic bottles into the landfill.
Oh, I know. Makes me crazy.
And it takes 700 years to break down. So we are polluting the planet for hundreds and hundreds of years. But bottled water is not regulated like tap water. For example, 22% of tested bottled water had chemical contaminants far above health standards. And 40% of bottled water is just municipal water. 2 of the 3 most popular brands in North America come from tap water. So that's bottled water, and then you go to tap water, and here's some statistics on tap water. The EPA only regulates 104 contaminants in our water supply, yet there's 60,000 different chemicals that are used in the U.S. Pharmaceutical drugs have been found in the tap water of almost 50 million Americans. So you have a large percentage of America that every time they drink tap water, they're taking in pharmaceutical drugs. And it's not just that. It's fluoride, it's chlorine, it's chloramines, pharmaceuticals, and a lot of people call it a toxic cocktail. And it's crazy. And so water needs to be effectively treated, but then on top of that, you want to take the contaminants out. In a lot of these countertop filters, like the Pure systems, and I'm probably not supposed to mention any names, so scratch that out. But any type of like granulated charcoal systems that you attach to the faucet, or you have a pitcher, they do very little. Because with the granulated charcoal, once the water gets poured through there, it develops a path, and it's very ineffective. So we need to properly remove all the contaminants, and then we need to condition the water the way it was in nature. And I can stop there. And
so just to be clear, when you say it makes it, because a lot of people are out there with their little Brita filter wondering, hey, what the heck? What do you mean it makes a path? So it goes into the charcoal filter and tends to all pool in a certain way and go down in a certain vertical line, and then you're not really getting the full benefit.
Right. So it's pressed carbon block, which is it's pressed together, and then you have the granulated. And so if you're going to have a filter, at least spend a few extra dollars and get the pressed carbon block. That's going to do a lot better. But still, it still doesn't make the water a whole lot better compared to what ionized alkaline water can do.
Incredible. So there's a lot of things we've touched on already. We're going to take just a short break. We'll be right back, folks. You're listening to the Healthy Home Hour, sponsored by the Healthy Home Market on Streets 1033 with Mark and Jason here today.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen up. This is your favorite superhero, Captain Immune System. I'm always hard at work defending you against millions of bacteria, viruses, toxins, and parasites that would love to invade your body. But sometimes, even superheroes need a helping hand, especially with winter approaching. It's your job to help protect the protector. So start by eating a better diet, exercising, getting plenty of rest, and adding some quality supplements to your life. One being my partner in crime, aloe vera. Aloe vera is full of vitamins, minerals, enzymes, amino acids, and micronutrients that can help me, the immune system, to be strong and resilient against infection. Many scientists and researchers believe that aloe vera supports the body to fight illnesses and diseases. When choosing an aloe vera product, quality is everything. Aloe Life has been crafting the highest quality aloe vera products for decades. To learn more, visit aloelife.com or call 1-800-414-ALOE. Aloe Life is available in finer health food stores nationwide.
Stop dragging yourself to the doctor to sit on a cold table in a paper gown to get instructions that don't always work. Americans outspend the next 10 other industrialized nations and still rate 11th in overall health. Change all that at the Charlotte Health Center for a proactive health scene with Dr. Matt McAleese and his first-class staff. Be a VIP and access special health classes, know the power of spinal correction, and experience the new Vibe platform to banish body pain, headaches, and disease without pills or surgery. Treat your body with respect to live your dreams of health and wealth. You can do it at the Charlotte Health Center with Dr. Matt McAleese. Call 704-780-0166 or go to charlottehealthcenter.com and live the life.
Friends, do you eat the amount of vegetables recommended by every major health organization, 5 to 9 servings daily to maintain health? Well, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, less than 9% of American adults do. Luckily, there's a great solution, and it even tastes good. Healthy and Slim Daily Greens Formula by Aloe Life. It's an easy and delicious way to get in the daily recommended servings of dark green leafy vegetables. Healthy and Slim Daily Greens Formula is top quality, certified organic greens blended with whole leaf aloe vera and Nepal cactus to support energy and stamina. Each heaping teaspoon supplies 3 servings of dark green vegetables that contain life-supporting nutrients, proteins, minerals, vitamins, and even essential fatty acids that people need to support body wellness. To learn more, visit www.aloelife.com or call 1-800-414-ALOE. That's 1-800-414-2563. You can also find Aloe Life products at finer health food stores nationwide. Aloe Life, where being healthy never tasted so good.
Uncover the truth with the Holistic Wellness Center of Charlotte, where Christian Boyle, Director of Functional Medicine, investigates the core of your illness and frees you from a variety of health disorders. With specialized testing and skillful interpretation, Christian determines if 4 critical body barriers that act as a health shield have been compromised. Don't keep learning to live until you die with pain, depression, thyroid disease, chronic fatigue syndrome, allergies, insomnia, migraines, autoimmune disorders, or more. At the Holistic Wellness Center of Charlotte, you get the best of East and West to unlock your body's innate ability to be well and live well. With functional medicine, acupuncture, Chinese food therapy, and much more, you will get better and watch your life improve. Because with precise diagnostics, it's not only possible, it's inevitable. If you feel trapped in your illness or want to avoid the diseases of your family, contact the Holistic Wellness Center of Charlotte by going to holisticcharlotte.com. That's holisticcharlotte.com, or call 704-308-2557. 704-308-2557. Get the keys to the wellness kingdom with the health detective, Christian Boyle, Director of Functional Medicine at the Holistic Wellness Center of Charlotte.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Healthy Home Hour, sponsored by the Healthy Home Market. I'm Holly Adams. I'm here with Mark Gilewicz and Jason Fowler. We're talking about the water and the blood today. What really is it all about? How do you stay healthy? Because they're telling us that the blood is what's bathing our body. Makes a lot of sense. But, if you don't have good water, you can't have good blood, basically. Sounds like. At the Healthy Home Market, we've got an alkaline water machine. What are the benefits? I mean, I've been a little confused about it because I worry that I'll be drinking it at the wrong time, like if I had too much food in my stomach, but I may not know what I'm talking about. Either one of you, what do you think about
Jason,
that?
you want to start?
Sure. So a lot of people are confused about this, but yeah, if we think about our digestion process, so when you have food and then you have these acids and bases or these different stomach secretions that are breaking down the food, and you add water to the mix, then you're just watering down these digestive processes. So your body has to keep releasing more and more and more. And what is everybody complaining about nowadays? Everybody's sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? And this is a big part of that process, is we're just really messed up on our eating habits. And if we drink before and after our meals instead of with our meals, then that actually will have a dramatic improvement on our digestion and elimination processes.
Okay, so it is true. You really shouldn't be drinking during your meal.
Right.
So you're going to drink up to the meal. So give us a time frame, like how many minutes before and how many minutes after?
About 15 to 20 minutes. And you kind of have to think about what your digestion process is like. Some people have a really sluggish digestive process, so you might want to give yourself a little bit more time. And depending on the contents of your meal, like if you eat just a salad and it doesn't have any cheese or any other junk, but it's literally just fresh vegetables, then you can actually drink water with your meal, but most people don't eat like that. So I would wait at least 20 minutes after your meal before you digest. And if you had a really heavy or really acidic meal, then you may want to even wait longer than that.
Okay.
And cold fluids aren't good for you, especially while you're eating, because it impedes digestion. So the body's got to warm that cold fluid back up so you can properly digest your food. Other places in the world, they don't put ice in their fluid, so that when they have tea, there's no such thing as iced tea. So warm beverages are
No ice
preferable.
sweet tea?
No, not in the rest of the world. Not even up north.
Right. Not on the sweet tea anyway.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I wonder, you mentioned earlier before the break, we were talking about chloramines and fluoride. And can we get that stuff out of the water even with filtration? I mean, is it possible?
It is possible. So a lot of bottled water uses reverse osmosis, which is very effective at getting those things out. However, you kill the water. There's no life to it. It's very acidic, and that's not something you want to drink. So on one hand, it does good by taking out the contaminants, but on the other side, it's dead, acidic water that is not helping a whole lot in your body. So, but there are some filters and some systems that do take out fluoride and the chloramines. And on our website, the betterbodyandlife.com. If anybody wants to contact me, there is a brand. It's by Alkaviva, and I know there are a lot of different brands out there. But one thing I do like about Alkaviva is their ultra water filtration system. So it's the filter that they use within the system that takes out these contaminants very, very effectively.
So it seems as though what you're saying is clean alkaline water is really a big part of being healthy and looking good. And it's a bigger part than we generally think. Right, Jason?
Absolutely. Our body is more water than anything else, so obviously that should be one of the most important things to our health. And most people just really completely overlook that.
What about these microclusters I keep hearing about in water? What are those?
Well, the water molecules tend to clump together, especially when you process water. The water molecules are going to be clumped together even more. Water found in nature, the water molecules come in smaller clusters. So you can think of grape clusters. If you've got 50 grapes on a cluster versus 20, the 20 grape cluster is going to be smaller. So when you've got water molecules that are clustered together, a lot of the water that we drink, bottled or tap water, never hydrates our cells. It can't go through the cell membrane and hydrate. It will just go right out your body. So you can drink a lot of bottled water, tap water, and it won't ever properly hydrate you. And also the nutrients ride on the water molecule to the cells. And then that's only half of it. The other half is be able to waste elimination. So if you're not hydrating your cells properly, then the waste is going to build up, and then you can create a toxic situation in your body.
This is really where it connects with the blood, is because the blood does three things. It takes oxygen and nutrients to every cell in our body, and then it removes all the waste from our cells. So if we're not getting the right kind of water, we're not really helping our blood cells to do their job properly. And this is really what's so key about what we do, Mark and myself, together. It's so closely connected.
Right. So when you look at alkaline water, the main difference between it and traditional water, and when you look at nature, I mean, God, made water, of course, and then in how it comes from nature, it has certain properties. Once that water goes to a pool and sits there for hours or days, the properties change. So ionized alkaline water, and there are non-electric machines that can create this type of water, and there are electric machines, so there are pros and cons to both. And but the main reason that you want to drink alkaline water is, you just mentioned the microclustering. It's more hydrating. It's going to go into your cells more effectively. It's going to hydrate. It's going to take those toxins out. So that's a huge plus. Also, bottled and tap water is an oxidizer. So it's actually oxidizing your system, which means that it's, we talk about antioxidants. Well, alkaline water is actually a super antioxidant. So you're combating free radical damage, you're combating aging. So that's the second benefit. And then the alkalinity. The majority of Americans, because of their diet and stress and pollutants and all that, we're highly acidic. And our blood has to be at, about a 7.2, 7.3, and the body has to stay that way or we'll die. But we're drinking sodas and all types of beverages and foods that are so acidic, it puts such a stress on our bodies. And by drinking the ionized alkaline water, it'll help increase the alkalinity in your body, and then everything's going to function better. And maybe you can go into a little bit more details about that.
Yeah, I want to ask you, Jason, specifically, explain to us what is a nutritional microscopist?
So a nutritional microscopist or
Thank
microscopist, sorry, potato, is someone that's basically a cross between a microbiologist and a nutritionist. What I do is I get just a little pinprick, the tip of your fingers, get a few drops of blood, put that under a microscope, and we're able to see your blood as if it was still inside your body in a completely unaltered state, and we're able to see everything that's going on at the cellular level. So if you're getting too much of certain things that are bad for you, or not enough of things that are necessary in your diet, like most people don't get enough good healthy fats, for instance, or water, or whatever the case may be, and we'll be able to see that, and we'll see directly how it's affecting the body. So if there's a specific organ or system of your body that's being affected, we'll be able to hone in on exactly where that is and what's causing that, and then we can make recommendations through diet and lifestyle changes that will correct that and give you perfect ideal health. And the important thing to note about this is basically sickness and disease cannot exist in in a alkaline environment. It does exist in an acidic environment. So that's really what I deal with is pH, and the alkaline water is the number one thing that I recommend to my clients because it can make a dramatic improvement in just minutes, and it's really tremendous.
Yeah, you mentioned, both of you have mentioned pH now, and I think it gets confusing for some people. It never seems to be easy to grasp it. You hear it, and then you think, what did they say? Tell us about pH, from the start.
Okay, so pH stands for potential for hydrogen, and basically you look at like a saturated fat, for instance. What is a saturated fat? A saturated fat is saturated with hydrogen molecules, and that makes it very acidic. So this is going right back to what we're talking about. It's a matter of just keeping a certain balance. And if you think about like your bank account, most people are in the red. Most people are actually very in the red, and we need to keep a balance of our alkaline and acidic. So our body, my mentor, Dr. Young, he has a saying, the body is alkaline by design and acidic by function. So everything that we do has acidic waste products. So we need a constant replenishment of the alkaline minerals to combat that and keep us pH balanced. Most people just keep dumping more and more acid, and so they never really get a chance to bring their balance or their account into the positive.
So that's pretty interesting. The when you say, I'm wondering, how about people who are always stuffing those anti-acid Tums in their mouth, and they have this acid problem. What do you say to somebody like that? What's going on with their acid alkaline balance?
First of all, pharmaceuticals are never going to fix anything like that. They're all acidic. Basically what they're doing is they're masking symptoms. They're not really treating or curing anything. The answer is always going to come from correcting our pH balance. Everything is directly tied to that. So as soon as we start addressing things from that level, we see everything improve very, very quickly. And this really goes down to any kind of sickness or disease. And how many people out there nowadays are like, well, the doctor says everything looks fine, but I still feel like garbage. Well,
Yep.
I see that very quickly, and we can fix it very quickly.
So when you're looking at the blood, you're looking down the microscope and you're looking at somebody's blood and you're watching it in real time. What do you see there? What does healthy blood look like?
Well, healthy blood is going to be separated blood cells, and they're going to be nice and plump and round because they're well hydrated and not carrying a bunch of toxins, and they're just going to glow. They have an energy to them. And everything is energy. So when we're talking about this water is full of energy. So that energy is going to be immediately transferred to our blood cells and then transferred to every other cell in our body. So again, everybody's complaining being sick and tired. And this is the fastest way we can address that. It's amazing what it does for your recovery and your just energy levels. Everybody's complaining about poor thinking, muddled concentration and thought and so forth, and being tired all the time. And this just almost immediately picks all that up and just really makes a dramatic difference.
So how about you're looking at all these different blood types and blood and everything. And when you're looking at that, what do toxins look like? To try to bring it home for people, you're looking at the blood and you can actually see toxins or viruses or bacteria or parasites or... Aside from the good stuff, if everybody's not doing very well, what is that looking like?
It can look like a lot of different things. It really just depends on what we're looking at. But yeah, like you said, we can see parasites, we can see like fungus and yeast and bacteria and all kinds of yucky stuff in there. Actually see acid crystals in the blood. And, how many people are complaining about arthritis and gout and like arteriosclerosis, cholesterol, high blood pressure? All these things are acid problems. So when we correct that acid imbalance, then all that stuff goes away.
That's incredible.
Yeah, you had mentioned, Holly, about inflammation. So that's a huge part of changing your lifestyle and your diet,
Yes.
especially this water. So it helps fight inflammation and pains in the joints and arthritis and heart disease. All these things are based in inflammation. And so when you can provide the oxygen to the cells and the nutrients, and then you can cleanse the body appropriately and hydrate, then everything's going to work so much better. And if I can just give a testimonial to my mom, a couple of years ago, I really believe that Jason helped save my mom's life. A doctor had given her some medication that she was only supposed to take for a very short period of time, and it was mislabeled, and she took it for a longer period of time. And she started having some disorientation problems, and Jason checked her blood, and this medicine had coagulated her blood where she was on the verge of a stroke. And I believe that if she hadn't gotten the blood analysis and kept taking this medication, she would have had a stroke. And you could see the blood cells where they're supposed to be round and plump and separated. They were collapsed and all stuck together, and it was just like pudding. And you can just visually see. So it was very dramatic. So I tell everybody about the benefits of blood analysis. So you can look at the blood with Jason while he's doing it, and you can just go, whoa, my blood shouldn't look like that, should it? Like, no. And then what's really amazing is you can drink like a greens drink or super greens drink alkaline water, and you can just see a vast improvement immediately. So when I had my water store and some nutritional items there, I was always the guinea pig. I'm like, hey, Jason, someone just told me this is the greatest thing on the planet. I'm going to take it. Tell me if it's any good. And sometimes it would do good, and sometimes it wouldn't. But the proof is in the blood.
That's fascinating. It really is. Folks, you got to check it out. Go to betterbodyandlife.com, the number 704-996-3141, and stay with us. We got lots more to talk about here on the Healthy Home Hour and Streets 1033.
Friends, are you in and out of doctors' offices suffering with digestive issues, gas, heartburn, allergies, weight loss challenges, depression, or declining health in general? Well, find out why and what to do about it in the best health book of the century, fully referenced, called Beyond Gluten Intolerance, GIS. 3 books in one with 12 chapters, well referenced, including recipes, and over 80 health conditions and 20 healthy focus factors required to reach optimum health. Beyond Gluten Intolerance, GIS, is for people living with any disease, those who desire to reach a healthy weight goal, and others purely seeking disease prevention and learning how to stay healthy. Visit www.beyondglutenintolerance.com. That's beyondglutenintolerance.com, or call 1-800-414-2563. Learn how making just a few dietary adjustments and getting digestion functioning back again makes the world of difference, often in just days. Visit www.beyondglutenintolerance.com.
Stop dragging yourself to the doctor to sit on a cold table in a paper gown to get instructions that don't always work. Americans outspend the next 10 other industrialized nations and still rate 11th in overall health. Change all that at the Charlotte Health Center for a proactive health scene with Dr. Matt McAleese and his first-class staff. Be a VIP and access special health classes. Know the power of spinal correction and experience the new Vibe platform to banish body pain, headaches, and disease without pills or surgery. Treat your body with respect to live your dreams of health and wealth. You can do it at the Charlotte Health Center with Dr. Matt McAleese. Call 704-780-0166 or go to charlottehealthcenter.com and live the life.
Skin Gel by Aloe Life is made from fresh, certified, organically grown aloe vera leaves. The formula contains 1% skin nutrients of vitamin E, A, and C combined with additional herbal extracts. The ultimate value of Skin Gel is unmatched by any other topical aloe vera on the market today. The golden yellow color shows the presence of the yellow sap used traditionally for healthy skin. Skin Gel by Aloe Life is a natural and safe way to support the body, popular for hair, scrapes, burns, scars, sunburn damage, or troubled skin. Skin Gel by Aloe Life is a natural astringent, perfect to apply to clean, washed skin to tighten, and may even support cell regeneration, as shown in Aloe Life's 1997 skin study. Follow with face and body lotion for maximum benefits. Look for Aloe Life products at your local health food store or online at aloelife.com, or call them today at 1-800-414-2563. That's 1-800-414-ALOE. The Aloe people. Aloe Life.
Uncover the truth with the Holistic Wellness Center of Charlotte, where Christian Boyle, Director of Functional Medicine, investigates the core of your illness and frees you from a variety of health disorders. With specialized testing and skillful interpretation, Christian determines if 4 critical body barriers that act as a health shield have been compromised. Don't keep learning to live until you die with pain, depression, thyroid disease, chronic fatigue syndrome, allergies, insomnia, migraines, autoimmune disorders, or more. At the Holistic Wellness Center of Charlotte, you get the best of East and West to unlock your body's innate ability to be well and live well. With functional medicine, acupuncture, Chinese food therapy, and much more, you will get better and watch your life improve. Because with precise diagnostics, it's not only possible, it's inevitable. If you feel trapped in your illness or want to avoid the diseases of your family, contact the Holistic Wellness Center of Charlotte by going to holisticcharlotte.com. That's holisticcharlotte.com. Or call 704-308-2557. 704-308-2557. Get the keys to the Wellness Kingdom with the health detective Christian Boyle, Director of Functional Medicine at the Holistic Wellness Center of Charlotte.
Hey folks, we're back. You're listening to the Healthy Home Hour, sponsored by the Healthy Home Market. And I just want to talk about a couple things we got going on at the market on sale for you before we get back to Mark and Jason. Alafia right now, Alafia Fair Trade Company from Togo, Africa, also in Seattle with Olawanjo, who's at the helm of that company. Amazing man. He has all kinds of things on sale at the Healthy Home Market. We've got it there for you. 20% off, 15% off. The black soap is 15% off this month, right through the end of February. And then Barlean's, there's also a 20% discount off of all Barlean's products right through February again. And we've got a lot of other food items that are on sale, but we're going to get into that because I want to talk about the inflammation factor of food a little bit. And before the break, we were talking about inflammation, and also, I mentioned that class earlier. If you were listening in at the top of the hour, there's a class at the Healthy Home Market tomorrow night. That's let's see, what time is that? I think that's at 7 to 8, and it is Eating to Reduce Inflammation. It's free, so come on out and check it out because it's really important. I want to ask about stress. You alluded to it, Mark. What does stress do to the inflammation quotient in our body?
I was told by a naturopathic doctor once that you can do everything right, and if you're stressed out, you're going to be sick. You really have to watch stress, but stress causes acid buildup, acidic waste. It stresses your whole body. From talked about adrenals earlier, the nervous system. Every aspect of the body is stressed or is affected by stress. And what we don't realize is when you think on certain bad things, toxins, up to 1,000 different toxins flood your body.
When you think bad thoughts?
When you think bad thoughts.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So you can take that biblically, and the Bible says, think on these things that are just, lovely, and pure. If you have anger, bitterness, unforgiveness, tests have been done on when people focus on certain negative thoughts and emotions, up to 1,000 toxins flood your body. They're all acidic. And then when you think on these things that are just, lovely, and pure and of good report, those things actually provide healing drugs or elements that go through your body that actually heal your body. So it's very interesting.
It is. It's amazing to think how your mind really can control or affect your body and your tissues and your long-term health. How about, we hear a lot in health food circles about leaky gut syndrome. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking, Jason, if you see food particles and there's leaky gut syndrome, then I wonder, well, it gets a little confusing because don't we want nutrients in our blood? Can you tease that out for us?
Absolutely. Actually, it's interesting to note the father of the colonoscopy, Dr. Shinya, he recommends and actually prescribes, as a doctor, alkaline ionized water to all of his patients on a daily level because he has seen it's been over 30 years now that he's been doing colonoscopies and so forth, that it makes a dramatic improvement in the digestion process, the colon, and everything is always clear when people regularly drink the alkaline water. So it makes an amazing effect.
It really is. It really is how digestion is where the rubber meets the road. You've got to have good digestion, or you're just not going to be well. You've got to get the nutrients out of the food, and then get the toxins out of your body. And it sounds like alkaline water is one of the better ways to do it.
It's huge. You'll get an immediate result, and I know this because when you offer alkaline water to people, that's the first thing that they say within days. I didn't realize how constipated people there are out there.
Right.
But I guess all my friends were constipated, and I never knew it. But they started drinking the water, and that same week, 100% of them said,
That's improved.
no, it's like perfect bowel elimination. I'm like, thanks for sharing that.
Well, while we're on the subject, what
Yes.
does perfect look like? Once a day, twice a day?
I guess everybody has have different theories on that. I know Jason, has studied that more in depth, but some people say after every meal you should. Other people say, definitely once a day. But anyway, I don't feel like talking about mine, but I'm good to go, and I've never had that problem. So yeah.
How about, I'm wondering, is there any water in nature anywhere that's still healthy and good for us, just coming out of the ground?
There's a couple places left on the earth, like Lourdes, France. That's supposed to be one of the most infamous water sources in the world. Millions of people go there every year, and the ionizers that we're talking about do the exact same thing. That's what they're doing, is they're replicating that kind of water, where it's going to have good alkaline minerals like calcium and magnesium and potassium, which are things that we always need. It's our electrolytes, right? So it's going to help to balance our electrolyte levels, help stay hydrated, and it's got energy, or it's creating an antioxidant effect. So it's reversing this rusting process that we were talking about earlier.
What are the electrolytes that you bring them up? Tell us about those a little bit.
We don't have to drink Gatorade, you mean?
Exactly.
Isn't Gatorade good for you?
It's extremely acidic, actually.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up, Mark. That's important to know.
It has a lot of sugars in it. Sugars are acids, and they're literally going to freeze our immune system, or our white blood cells. And that's one of the things that is really neat to see when we're looking at people's blood. I always want to show them the health of their white blood cells as well as their red blood cells. And after eating sugars, it will actually paralyze our white blood cells for up to 5 hours because of those acids.
When you say sugars, are we talking a Twinkie or a Snickers bar, or does that also include an apple?
Any kind of sugar. Certainly there's some sugars that are better than other sugars, and we need certain carbohydrates in our diet to continue to exist. But sugar is sugar. Tony Robbins, the motivational speaker, has a saying. He's also a microscopist like myself, and he says sugar equals acid equals metabolic glue. It just slows us down and plugs us up, and that's exactly what we're talking about as far as like the digestion and elimination process. We're seeing it right there.
And when you were talking about electrolytes, alkaline water is like drinking electrolytes. And if you want more, what I do is I take Himalayan salt. And you've got up to like 80 or so different trace minerals in there.
Oh, it's good stuff.
So I'll just add a little bit in that. And then, our bodies, like the earth is 70% water. Our bodies are about 70%, maybe a little bit higher, water. And the same percentage of salt that's in the ocean is what our bodies are made up. So if you go to the hospital and you're dehydrated, they immediately put you on saline solution. Mm-hmm. So there's good and bad salt, and I'll promote the real salt. I mean, I know you all sell real salt at your store, and Himalayan salt, and that's good salt that actually your body needs. That when you have table salt, that just dries out your cells and kills your cells, and is terrible. So
let's talk about the difference of that, because we do have Himalayan salt at the Healthy Home Markets, and we've got black salt, and we've got Celtic salt and kosher salt. And why is that good and table salt isn't?
Jason, he's actually more brainy than I am, so give the brainy answer.
So yeah, my favorite three are the real salt, the Celtic sea salt, and the Himalayan salt. They are just loaded with different minerals and trace minerals, and they're all alkaline, and they're very pure salts, naturally pure salts, so you don't have to worry about toxins or anything. And they have energy, like we keep going back to this concept of energy. Mm-hmm. So they're going to contribute to our alkalinity. They're going to contribute to our energy levels. They're going to be easily absorbed by the body, not like taking all these synthetics and isolates that we find in all these different medications or supplements oftentimes and things like that. Our body, for thousands of years, has been doing things on a more natural level. So when we start using things that are not natural, our body doesn't really know what to do with it a lot of the time. So this is just getting back to the basics, getting back to what our body really recognizes and knows what to do with. And like I said, with that energy, our cells just absorb it very quickly and distribute it throughout our whole body. So everything that needs all these different elements, it's there for us when we need it.
And the table salt is not natural.
No, it's sodium chloride, which is made in a laboratory. It's not natural at all.
So they take sodium and they take chloride and they mash them together.
Exactly.
And it dries out your cells and it kills your cells.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the salt that all the doctors have been talking
Exactly.
about for decades. Stay away from salt, and if you have a heart condition or cholesterol, et cetera, don't eat salt. But that's not the same salt we're talking about.
No, this salt we're talking about is good for you.
Right.
Get salt away.
Salt away. That's right. Get yourself a salt shaker and have a good time.
Oh, yeah. It's good for you.
Right. It's great for your adrenals, too, isn't it, salt?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, which is kind of at the heart of so much. So we got lots more to talk about. We're tearing it up here, folks, talking about salt and water and your blood and health. And we'll be back to talk about the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. You're listening to the Healthy Home Hour on Streets 103.3.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen up. This is your favorite superhero, Captain Immune System. I'm always hard at work defending you against millions of bacteria, viruses, toxins, and parasites that would love to invade your body. But sometimes, even superheroes need a helping hand, especially with winter approaching. It's your job to help protect the protector. So start by eating a better diet, exercising, getting plenty of rest, and adding some quality supplements to your life. One being my partner in crime, aloe vera. Aloe vera is full of vitamins, minerals, enzymes, amino acids, and micronutrients that can help me, the immune system, to be strong and resilient against infection. Many scientists and researchers believe that aloe vera supports the body to fight illnesses and diseases. When choosing an aloe vera product, quality is everything. Aloe Life has been crafting the highest quality aloe vera products for decades. To learn more, visit aloelife.com or call 1-800-414-ALOE. Aloe Life is available in finer health food stores nationwide.
Stop dragging yourself to the doctor to sit on a cold table in a paper gown to get instructions that don't always work. Americans outspend the next 10 other industrialized nations and still rate 11th in overall health. Change all that at the Charlotte Health Center for a proactive health scene with Dr. Matt McAleese and his first-class staff. Be a VIP and access special health classes, know the power of spinal correction, and experience the new Vibe platform to banish body pain, headaches, and disease without pills or surgery. Treat your body with respect to live your dreams of health and wealth. You can do it at the Charlotte Health Center with Dr. Matt McAleese. Call 704-780-0166 or go to charlottehealthcenter.com and live the life.
Friends, do you eat the amount of vegetables recommended by every major health organization, 5 to 9 servings daily to maintain health? Well, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, less than 9% of American adults do. Luckily, there's a great solution, and it even tastes good. Healthy and Slim Daily Greens Formula by Aloe Life. It's an easy and delicious way to get in the daily recommended servings of dark green leafy vegetables. Healthy and Slim Daily Greens Formula is top quality, certified organic greens blended with whole leaf aloe vera and Nepal cactus to support energy and stamina. Each heaping teaspoon supplies 3 servings of dark green vegetables that contain life-supporting nutrients, proteins, minerals, vitamins, and even essential fatty acids that people need to support body wellness. To learn more, visit www.aloelife.com or call 1-800-414-ALOE. That's 1-800-414-2563. You can also find Aloe Life products at finer health food stores nationwide. Aloe Life, where being healthy never tasted so good.
Uncover the truth with the Holistic Wellness Center of Charlotte, where Christian Boyle, Director of Functional Medicine, investigates the core of your illness and frees you from a variety of health disorders. With specialized testing and skillful interpretation, Christian determines if 4 critical body barriers that act as a health shield have been compromised. Don't keep learning to live until you die with pain, depression, thyroid disease, chronic fatigue syndrome, allergies, insomnia, migraines, autoimmune disorders, or more. At the Holistic Wellness Center of Charlotte, you get the best of East and West to unlock your body's innate ability to be well and live well. With functional medicine, acupuncture, Chinese food therapy, and much more, you will get better and watch your life improve. Because with precise diagnostics, it's not only possible, it's inevitable. If you feel trapped in your illness or want to avoid the diseases of your family, contact the Holistic Wellness Center of Charlotte by going to holisticcharlotte.com. That's holistic healthcharlotte.com or call 704-308-2557. 704-308-2557. Get the keys to the Wellness Kingdom with the Health Detective, Christian Boyle, Director of Functional Medicine at the Holistic Wellness Center of Charlotte.
We're back. I'm Holly Adams. I'm here with Mark Gilewicz and Jason Fowler talking about water and blood. We're going broad and deep with water and blood today. And one of the questions, we're talking about the healthcare system in the country, and it's really not in good shape. The business end of it has kind of infected the health end of it. And I think we're 49th in the nation, in the world rather, for effective healthcare at this point, though we outspend everybody by 15 times or something, and the numbers are staggering. And you talked about, on the break, you mentioned your water ministry, and I wanted to ask you about that because I'm really wondering if you all feel that with what you've been doing, if there isn't evidence that maybe business and the environment might eventually work together.
I hope so, and there are a lot of companies that are, and unfortunately, they're big corporations that they don't care about the environment, and they care about controlling people and making money. And unfortunately, water is a big issue. We talk about oil and making sure that oil prices are low, but water is as important as as oil in the water, because we need water to live. And so many corporations are now controlling water supplies in third world countries, and you've got somebody in whether it's South America or Africa, and they actually have to pay for water because it's now bought up by water companies. But what I found in our water ministry, we're in over a dozen countries throughout the water, and we have a special filter. And actually, anything that's purchased on our site will make a donation to the water ministry, so you're going to actually help save lives. And the number one cause of death in children in the world is drinking contaminated water. So we may talk about how tap water is unhealthy and it's got pharmaceuticals in it and different contaminants. It's not going to kill you right away.
Right.
But in other parts of the world, the water is so infected, is so bad, they have no choice for miles around to get clean water, that the number one cause of death in children is drinking contaminated water. So our goal is to, and there's different ways you can do it. You can drill wells, you can do a lot of different things, but we happen to have this filter for $50, attaches to a 5-gallon plastic bucket that can be found anywhere in the world, and it's gravity fed, and it's good for 1 million gallons. So it's actually water for life, and that's the name of the water ministry, Water for Life. And you can look at what we do at our website, betterbodyandlife.com, and it's just a huge problem around the world. People don't have access to some, not to any water, but definitely not to clean water.
What about clean water in the U.S.?
There were problems here out in Arizona, in Nevada, and different places.
Reservations, maybe.
Yeah, they're talking about in the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to have there just won't be any water. I look at California. California has a huge problem, and I don't know why they waited for it to be a problem. You look at countries like Israel, where there's no water there, but they understand irrigation and desalination and technologies to take care of it. I wish that states like California and other states would look into that and take care of their people, because it affects all of us here.
Yeah, there are journalists that are saying that the whole problem in Syria is really started with a drought. That drought is a serious problem and leads to conflict. Yeah. So what countries are you in with your water ministry?
We're in Haiti. We're in Peru and South America. We're in Africa, Kenya, different countries there. Morocco. We're in Philippines, Vietnam. So just many countries throughout the world. And contaminated water is probably the biggest issue in the world. Of course, there's malnutrition. So together with malnutrition, probably the other big problem is contaminated water. It's a huge problem.
So you can go to betterbodyandlife.com and find out how to get involved if you'd like to with Water for Life, and not only for this country but other countries. We all know and see pictures and stories about how it really is tough. I mean, people who are walking miles and miles every day just for a pot of water.
Yep. And it's
yeah.
usually the women. I never see pictures of men walking to get the water. It's the women.
I know. Hard workers women aren't they?
Yes.
It's true. Jason, looking at the blood and the effects of good water on the blood and blood analysis, I'm wondering if you've ever, here you are, you're looking at all these different blood slides and live blood and dried blood, the process of how you create diagnosing or discerning what's the problem. In that process, have you ever found evidence of balance or actual beauty in the blood?
Yeah, actually, kind of like what we were talking about earlier, where you can see the energy in the blood, and we are energetic beings. We're electromagnetic beings, so there is a direct correlation. And I actually do a PowerPoint presentation occasionally where I show pictures of this lady that just really looked wrecked. Her hair, her face, everything looked wrecked, and we look at her blood, and her blood just looks filthy and disgusting. And after a few months of really just completely changing everything in her diet and lifestyle, and her blood is just perfect, and she looks like a completely different person. She's just radiant and beaming. Her eyes are clear, her hair, her skin, and everything just looks completely different. So there is a difference in what we do inside of our body corresponds to the outside of our body. Absolutely.
So not only will you feel good, but you're really going to look good if you do this. Well, that interests a whole lot of folks. In a lot of spiritual traditions, they talk about light. The light of the world, the light of heaven, the light of the bioenergetic field that some people talk about when they take, aura photographs. Do you see light in the blood?
Absolutely.
What does it look like?
It kind of looks like a halo. There's like a glow, kind of a bright glow around the outside of the cell, all the way around the cell. And that's the energy of the cell. And that the more energy is in those cells is the more energy that we have in our bodies, and the better that our bodies are able to do all the many different processes and functions that we're supposed to do every day.
So in other words, you're looking at the blood, and some blood, there isn't much light around. There's not much of a halo at all. And then other people are in the mid-range, you get a little bit of a halo. And then there's folks that their halo is just glowing, and you're looking at something that's really very bright.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
That is so cool.
So if you want to get your halo, drink the energized alkaline water.
Right. So, and then, if all of that is working properly, I would believe you can think better, you're more creative, you have more energy, you sleep better, you digest better, and then therefore you can really live out your purpose. You can feel connected.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. I'm 42 years old, and most people think I'm in my 20s. I'm like Mark. I haven't seen a doctor since I was 21. So that's half of my life.
Wow, that is staggering to think about, because we all know people that are going to the doctor, twice a week, right?
Yeah.
What do you both do for exercise? Because that's certainly adding to the light level and the health of the body.
Absolutely. Yeah, we both are avid fitness health enthusiasts, and we both exercise regularly. And, it's going to, just like the water and the food, it's going to have a very important effect on our body, our blood, our inside and outside appearance.
How about folks that you see that they're really not doing very much exercise? Mm-hmm. What do you recommend to start out for someone?
Do it.
Walk. Just walking.
Okay.
And brisk walking. Yep. Take the stairs, just walk. In other countries, people walk everywhere. Mm-hmm. And here, unfortunately, we don't. And don't sit all day long. Just every hour, don't sit in a chair for more than an hour at a time. Get up, walk around, stretch a little bit, move. Our whole lymphatic system, which is our sewage system, has nothing to pump that sewage in our body. What pumps it is deep breathing, is exercise, is hydrating water. So doing all that just has a huge effect on our bodies.
Right. So that's very interesting, because a lot of people think, oh, you've got to get in the gym, and you've got to take 4 yoga classes a week, and you've got to be constantly, but you really don't. It's just a matter of getting up if you've been sitting at your desk and going for a walk or a stretch, even 5-10 minutes in between.
Yeah, absolutely. Just do something.
Okay. So, and then if you're going to start a regimen, would half an hour of brisk walking a day work?
Yeah, absolutely.
What about on the weekends? People want to take some time off. What do you suggest?
Well, we've been talking about the whole stress thing throughout the time that we've been talking, and that's the number one way to deal with stress is physical exercise. And it doesn't have to be anything super strenuous, just walking, like we said. And I ideally recommend walking in the sunshine, because then you're getting your vitamin D.
Yes.
That's going to help with your energy levels. It's going to fight depression and all kinds of other things. So it's just tremendous.
Well, I'm very grateful to have you both here today. This has been so interesting. Mark Gilewicz, water minister, and Jason Fowler, blood analyst. Thanks for being here. This alkaline water is amazing and very interesting. We have it at the Healthy Home Market.
Yep.
And you can contact Mark and Jason at betterbodyandlife.com at 704-996-3141. Thanks for being here.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Thank you, Holly.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So get to the Healthy Home Market, folks, for the alkaline water, clean fruits and veggies, good vitamins, and you can talk to the educated staff in the department. Hope to see you this Saturday for the Waking Up Rested class. And until then, I'll see you at the market. This is Streets 103.3, Charlotte's new hip-hop station.
Pay it forward and restore yourself by making the healthy choices for you and your family, and enjoy life with the Healthy Home Market. Feel the goodwill and own great health. Check it out at healthyhomemkt.com. That's healthyhomemkt.com for store locations, details, and discounts. Get the best of God's green blue earth at the Healthy Home Market.